Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Amy, and I'm really happy you decided to spend a little time with me today. I figured we'd keep things nice and relaxing again. No rush, no pressure, just some CSGOFast gameplay, a good story, and a chance to unwind together. I actually found today's story while browsing Reddit a few nights ago, and I couldn't stop reading once I started. At first, it sounded like a pretty ordinary workplace story, but by the end, it turned into something I never expected. I think you're going to enjoy this one. Before we get into it though, I have a little bonus for you guys. If you've been looking for the best CSGO Fast promo code 2026, the one that's currently working is 100F. Just open CSGO Fast, go to the promo code section, and enter 100F. It'll give you a 10% deposit bonus, plus one free case that you can open right away. So if you've been reading a CSGO Fast review, wondering whether CSGO Fast legit is worth trying, or you've wanted to experience CSGO Fast case opening, this is a great way to start. You can also claim CSGOFast free cases. And if you get lucky with a nice skin, the CSGOFast withdrawal process is quick and straightforward. It's definitely one of the better CSGOFast bonus code offers available right now. Now, let's get into today's story. The woman who shared this story was a college student working part-time at a large chain coffee shop while studying computer science. She wasn't planning to build a career there. She simply wanted a flexible job that could help pay the bills while she finished school. During her first couple of weeks, everything seemed perfectly normal. Her manager was friendly, her coworkers were easy to get along with, and the customers weren't difficult. The only real problem was the shift supervisor. He had worked there for years, and he never missed an opportunity to remind everyone about it. He constantly acted like the entire store depended on him. If someone made a mistake, he'd lecture them. If someone asked a question, he'd treat them like they were wasting his time. And if anything went wrong, it was always someone else's fault. Most of the employees were college students working temporary jobs, but he behaved as if he were running a major corporation instead of a neighborhood coffee shop. After her training ended, another problem appeared. The manager had originally promised her around 20 hours of work each week. At first, that's exactly what she received. But once the supervisor took over scheduling, her hours slowly began disappearing. 20 hours became 15, then 12. Some weeks, she barely worked at all. Whenever she asked why, he always gave the same answer. He told her she needed to be more of a team player. She knew that wasn't the real reason. The supervisor clearly played favorites, giving the best schedules to the employees he personally liked, while everyone else was left fighting over whatever shifts remained. After a while, she stopped arguing. She figured she'd finish the semester, find another part-time job, and move on with her life. But before any of that happened, she accidentally discovered something that changed everything. One morning, she stopped by the coffee shop before class to pick up her weekly tips. The daily delivery truck had just arrived, and the supervisor was unloading boxes behind the building. She wasn't paying much attention at first. Then she noticed that he'd left one delivery box sitting outside while carrying all the others into the store. She assumed he'd come back for it. Instead, he pulled out his phone, made a quick call, and waited. About a minute later, an old car drove into the alley behind the coffee shop. The driver opened the trunk. The supervisor picked up the box, placed it inside the car, closed the trunk, and watched the vehicle drive away. For a moment, she wasn't sure what she'd just seen. She actually tried to convince herself there had to be a reasonable explanation. Maybe another location needed supplies. Maybe it was part of a normal delivery process she didn't know about. But the more she thought about it, the less sense it made. So she decided to come back the following morning. This time, she arrived even earlier. She found a place where she could watch the loading area without being noticed. A few minutes later, the delivery truck arrived. Everything happened exactly the same way. One box was left outside. The supervisor made a phone call. The same old car pulled into the alley. The same box disappeared into the trunk. At that point, she knew it wasn't a coincidence. She'd just watched the same thing happen 2 mornings in a row. She tried recording it on her phone, but the video was too dark and too far away to clearly show what was happening. Reporting him without solid evidence didn't seem like a good idea. If she was going to accuse someone of stealing from the company, she wanted proof that nobody could deny. So she looked around the neighborhood and noticed an apartment building across the alley with a clear view of the loading area. From there, she could see everything without attracting attention. For the next several mornings, she quietly returned before sunrise. Every day, the routine was exactly the same. One delivery box stayed outside. A phone call followed, the same car appeared, and another box disappeared. By the end of the week, she had several clear videos showing exactly what the supervisor was doing. Then she learned something that gave her the perfect opportunity. Corporate executives were scheduled to visit the coffee shop in just a few days to evaluate the store manager for a promotion. And that's when she came up with a plan that nobody in that building would ever forget. The corporate visit was only a couple of days away, and the entire store was focused on making a good impression. The manager wanted everything to be perfect. Every counter had to be spotless, every employee had to look professional, and every customer needed to leave happy. Ironically, the shift supervisor was acting like the model employee. He smiled at customers, he joked with the executives, he spoke as if he cared more about the business than anyone else. The woman who wrote the Reddit post couldn't stop thinking about the videos sitting on her phone. She considered showing them to the manager before the meeting, but then she realized something. If she quietly handed over the evidence, the supervisor would probably deny everything. He'd come up with excuses, he'd blame someone else, or he'd claim the videos had been misunderstood. She wanted the truth to be impossible to ignore, so she came up with a much better idea. On the morning of the corporate visit, she stopped by the coffee shop even though she wasn't scheduled to work. She casually told everyone she was only there to pick up her paycheck. No one questioned it. While everyone else was busy preparing for the meeting, she walked into the employee office at the back of the store. Inside was the computer that controlled the television hanging above the cafe. Normally, it played an endless loop of promotional videos about coffee, seasonal drinks, and company advertising. She connected her phone to the computer, copied the videos she'd recorded, then she renamed the file so it looked exactly like the regular promotional presentation. Finally, she replaced the original video with her own and set it to play on a continuous loop. When she finished, she disconnected her phone, took a deep breath, and walked back into the cafe as though nothing had happened. She ordered a latte, found a table not far from the executives, and waited. For the first minute, everything looked completely normal. The manager was confidently talking about the store's performance. The executives listened carefully, customers continued ordering coffee. The supervisor stood nearby with the same confident smile he'd worn all morning. Then one of the executives happened to glance up at the television. He frowned for a second, then he interrupted the conversation. Wait a minute. Isn't that the loading area behind this store? Everyone looked toward the screen. The manager turned around. The employees stopped what they were doing, and there, playing on the television for the entire cafe to see, was the shift supervisor loading a delivery box into the trunk of an old car. The video ended. Then it immediately started playing again. The supervisor slowly looked up at the screen. The smile disappeared from his face. Without saying a single word, he rushed into the back office, hoping to stop the video. A few seconds later, the screen went black. Then the recording started playing again. She had already anticipated exactly what he would do. The original promotional video had been replaced completely. No matter what he tried, the same footage kept returning. Again, and again, and again. There was nothing left to explain. The evidence was playing on a giant screen in front of corporate management, the store manager, every employee, and every customer inside the cafe. One of the executives quietly stood up and ended the meeting. The store was temporarily closed while the company began an internal investigation. The woman simply finished her coffee, left the cafe, and went home. A few days later, the company's corporate office contacted her to thank her for providing the recordings. She agreed to hand over the original videos and answer a few questions about what she'd witnessed. As the investigation continued, the situation turned out to be much worse than anyone had expected. According to the Reddit post, the supervisor hadn't just been stealing food deliveries. He had apparently been doing it for years. Investigators also discovered that he had manipulated employees' schedules, reduced other people's working hours, and even taken money from staff tips. The company eventually turned the case over to the police. The store manager was cleared of any wrongdoing after investigators determined she had no knowledge of what had been happening behind the building. She still received her promotion, although the company expected her to pay much closer attention to the store in the future. The supervisor, however, lost his job and eventually faced criminal charges after the full investigation was completed. As for the woman who shared the story, she soon left the coffee shop, found another job while finishing college, and eventually began working as a computer technician, the career she'd been studying for all along. I think that's what I liked most about this story. She never argued with him. She never tried to get revenge. She simply stayed patient, gathered solid evidence, and waited for the right moment. In the end, the truth spoke for itself. That's probably the best reminder that sometimes the smartest thing you can do is stay calm and let the facts do the talking. Anyway, that was the story I wanted to share with you today. I'd love to know what you think. If you had been in her position, would you have reported him immediately, or would you have waited until you had enough evidence to prove everything? Let me know in the comments. And before you go, don't forget that if you're planning to check out CSGOFast, you can use the promo code 100F to receive a 10% deposit bonus and one free case. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. I really appreciate you being here. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.